Okay, now we're going to modify our breather. So this is made for a knucklehead early panhead. So this goes into your primary. The oil comes out of your chain adjuster, the pump here, which is controlled by the screw. It puts oil into the breather cavity, and this is your engine breather, comes out here and blows in your primary, lubricates the chain. We're going to run a belt, so we don't have a chain. So normally this thing will sit over here, over here someplace. And that's where it will be. So we want to get this cut off so that we can run a tube on here. So we're going to put a rubber hose right here, so we want to cut this off and put a clamp on it and run it out with the bike, and it won't blow in the primary cover. So we want to get a little bit more straight here, so we're going to heat this up with a torch. I'm going to put my 3/8 drift punch in here, pull with it. We'll heat this up right here, cherry red, and we should be able to pull that around and get it a little bit more straighter, so we'll have maybe another 1/4 inch more holding power. So we'll give that a try, see what happens here. We have our torches nearby now.
Exactly.
Because there ain't no room for it.
Yeah. Everything's nearby when it's...
Yeah, everything is nearby. And this is the good torch. So it doesn't have to be hopping, banging, and farting all the time. Put the rag on fire. Most of the stretching is going to be on the other side, so we want to get most of the heat on this side. Steady pressure on it. When it bends further up, so I heat it up further. See over here?
Yeah. Running the paint.
A hammer over there?
Hammer?
Yeah. Get my punch heating it up that hot. Worked a lot better than I thought it was going to work. See, able to control the heat pretty good.
Yeah.
And then a nice vise to beat on. Get the tape off of there. Get the bag out of there. See that fill?
Mm-hmm.
And just loose. Hot. Nice round 3/8. Put a slight dog leg, get more clearance. It's over. The biggest thing is 3/8 of an inch all the way up it now. So
Right.
So it's a useful breather. Might be a little warm for my fingers.
Yeah. Don't use those.
Pretty well guarantee it's warm for my
Yeah.
fingers. Where did that go?
Oh, it's under here. It's under the.
So now I'm going to run this thing under the bike a little bit. So I want the hose to go the other way now a little bit. So now if I heat it up, I can actually go the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
That way, that way. Probably make it work. It's getting hot. I wonder if I could use my tube bender on that. Maybe.
Put there in the other drawer, in the other set.
One over here.
Mm-hmm.
That way, but only goes the other way. I might be able to make that work. Otherwise, I can heat up the torch and just start turning on again. But you can actually use a tube bender on it. Be even better. I'm going to go this direction. This is bigger than 3/8, I'm guessing. This must be bigger than 3/8.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's 3/8 on the inside, so it's 7/16. 3/8 bender does not work on 7/16. You need a 7/16 bender or a 1/2 inch bender and use that, which I don't have here. The 1/2 inch ones are in storage. First time I needed a 1/2 inch bender. I just bought it to have it.
Really?
Really needs a 7/16 bender, but they don't make a 7/16 bender that I've ever seen.
It's under the. Yeah.
It's out of view again. So we'll go back down it this way. I'm not sure if it's going to be too long for you, but
I can always cut it.
so I'm going to go ahead and bend it this way a little bit. And get the thing going the direction I want to go, which would be down an angle like this.
Right.
'Cause right now it's going to run into the frame straight down, which which is not the direction we want to go. Whole bunch of short shorts. 1 hour to go.
Yeah.
Now we're going to stretch this out and not this side. So we're still heating up this side again. Heat over there, but a lot of heat over there. Too close. That'd be a good bend to it. Want to grab a hold of this?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's only a little warm. That's warmer.
Yeah.
Well, this will be down here. There we did want to go. Might be hot. So there, that's nice. You got a nice hose and go up there almost an inch on there, clamp on there. You still good flow going the other way. Worked pretty damn good. Primary was over in the back over here.
Yeah, it's in the back corner. By the hood.
And even now we might go forward slightly on that there. Lines up nicely right where it's supposed to be. It's like it was made for that piece. So you might have to give it just a light dimple.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it goes in far enough to get off your clutch here. You see it is hitting right there right now. We're pivoting off that, but I don't know sure. Does it look like it's straight or does it look like it's hanging out slightly?
It's hanging out.
Okay, so...
Just open up that hole a little.
No. Oh, dimple. So now, see how it's clearance.
Mm-hmm.
So now if it's still out more, when you tighten all this stuff up here,
Right.
you pull on the primary and it'll straighten this edge out over here a little bit.
Okay.
Or you go over here and beat on this a little bit right here right now, because it is a little high right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it doesn't take much to make a big difference out here. So now we're back hitting on this again.
Mm-hmm.
We're right up against it. Now if it's right up against it, it can vibrate and make noise, which you don't want. So if you dimple and get clearance on it, so you can vibrate and not hit it, it'll be good. So I think I'm hitting on it still a little bit. I think we're still hitting on it.
Looks like I put the top in.
Yeah. Going around the circle. Now we got clearance up your butt. So now this can all vibrate, but it won't be a noise you're going to hear.
Right.
If it's laying on top of it, vibrate, it can boop, 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 you hear that rattling noise. That's where the rattles come from. you gotta make sure you got clearance. So we got good clearance on it. The belt's not gonna hit up on that. It might hit up here slightly, but it's not gonna go up that high. It should be further out anyway. But if you're worried about it hitting on it, all you do is put something flat right here and just curl that edge over just a little
Yeah.
bit. And you put like a socket and bench and hit on it,
Mm-hmm.
bring it back a little bit. But I don't think it'll be a problem right there. And we definitely got our clearance in here right now. So once you get this all bolted in,
Mm-hmm.
you come in and just go lightly on the tap, tap, tap.
Right.
And bring it until it gets close, but make sure you got the gap in there.
Yeah, I'll leave the gap.
You can always put like a little screwdriver in there too if you wanted to, but keep it in that area. So now we got good clearance. The primer should be pretty flat now.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look flat from your step side?
Yes, definitely.
So it pulled in like it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Now this still could use some body work over here because somebody did a very good job of getting that flat into there. I don't know what their intention was, but to get that flat area to work with, that's fairly hard. Like that. See, the whole area is not very flat. So see how these areas here are high?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure you're not on those areas going to beat on something, see? So you get over here, now you can beat it if you want. Make sure you're not on that spot there, but you want to get this flattened out. Not sure what this hole up here is all about.
Looks like it was punched through it.
Yeah, I know, but why? Reason for it to be there. There's absolutely no reason for it. I knocked your titty out. You care if your titty's not there?
No.
Okay, good. So there's our low spot right there. The key is not to be hitting on these high spots. You have to have something raised up right here to get rid of this. You have to have a piece of metal right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can lay it on top and just
put it
in one area. And that'll bring this down. This obviously is an electric start transmission. That's how they originally did it.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I have something flat here I can beat on like that thing right there, that motor trim steering tool.
Mm-hmm.
Lay on in there and beat the tar of this thing pretty good. So that'd be this universal tool that's made for doing universal things on, like beating a tar in the primary. You still need a raised area to beat on that to get it squared up in there better. Right now this whole area is high. You have to play with it to get the dimples. It's under pressure, so it wants to go in or out. So
Right.
you got to get it around where it's more even to what you want. If you get it just right, your clutch will not drag when it's all assembled. You'll be able to put your clutch inside of this primary.
Mm-hmm.
It will fit if you get it good. But you see how we worked out a lot of that waviness and stuff that was in there, even in here. But this isn't too critical here because the clutch is right here.
Sure.
So this surface here, where the clutch goes, you got to make sure it's pretty damn flat and true,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where it's going to hit on here.
Right, right.
Everybody just cuts the whole backside of these things, but you don't have to do that. it fits in there if you just do a little body work and knock it off. And this is a genuine taco, so you know it's good stuff.
Exactly. Both Hollywood.
That's right. Not even the Nevada shit, so you know it's vintage. So this all looks pretty flat to what we need to go to now. Bike is in my way. So see, it looks pretty evenly flat going across. And you put this down here, see it looks flat also, so that tells me this is pretty flat.
Sure.
Even though I know it's not, but it's closer. See, you got dimples here, which are high spots. Right here. The thing is, it's a high spot. See how it makes it uneven? When you do that? You wind up having to come back and go like this to get it back semi-flat again. Because the metal's all not shrunk, but it's all expanded, so it's an uneven. You'd have to shrink it to make it lay flat. I don't have ways of doing that. I can beat on shit, but I can't unshrink stuff. I just know how to beat the tar out with a hammer. Anyway, that's pretty close. So when you put everything together and you look in here and you see if it drags, do like I did. Put some electric tape in here.
Right.
And put it all together and rub it, and you'll see where the tape hits. Dimple it right where the tape is, and hopefully it won't bend up and buckle up where you can't do anything.
Right. Okay.
So you have to play with it to get it where it doesn't hit. Once you get where it doesn't hit, you're golden. Then you bolt your cover on here and it moves all over the place again. So you got to go back and forth until it clears. Once you got it clear, you're good.
Okay.
But until it does that, you have to modify things a little bit. But it's a way better than what it was now. It's pretty damn straight now. It doesn't take too much to do it.
No. Fast.
Just got to use Dad's old hammer because it has a nice smooth face because I use it all the time for everything. This is about the right weight. It's a 1.5 pounds. Works really good for everything. I think it's a 1.5 pounds. It's heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy.
I think it's more than a pound. The biggest thing when you bolt it on here, makes it clears everything. It bolts on. It looks straight. That's a good sign. Now this is still gonna, it's all broken through here and a piece of crap, but we'll deal with that.
Exactly.
The key thing is when you bolt this on the bike, you gotta make sure that the oil tank and all this stuff bolts together correctly.
Right.
You got the chain guard comes in here, the oil tank, all that has to bolt in solid, has to line up. You have to shim these or whatever it takes to make everything line up. Usually the oil tank, you gotta cut the bracket off, make a new bracket, weld it on, so it's long enough to fit where it needs to be. And down here, I usually cut the bracket off the frame and put a new bracket on the frame.
Okay.
Right up to here. After everything else is in there and clears,
Right.
then you weld this bracket to the frame.
Yeah.
And then you hold it down. If this is pinched down solid, none of that damn spring crap. I mean, bolt is solid, this thing's not going to move. If you leave it loose, it vibrates all over the place and it does this.
Right.
You bolt that thing in solid without having binding on it, and it'll stay that way for a long time.
Sure.
Same on your oil tank and your rear fender, all that shit. Just get it so it all stays where it wants to be and tighten the hell out of it. It'll live. Let it be loose or bound up, it will break every time. So, all right, well there you go. That's what it looks like.